Hey guys, welcome to another Jurassic World Alive video. So we got some really interesting stuff. So today, Ludia, for some reason, dropped some teasers, I guess, just silhouettes for 1.8 hybrids, and let's go over them one by one and see what they could potentially be, right? So they released like 5 silhouettes here in total, or five total legendaries, and then you got 2 unique. So that's what, 7 total. That's actually not a lot of hybrids. Usually you get, 2 or 3 more. And I guess there could be like 2 or 3 more legend, or not legend, or epic plus rare hybrids, which they haven't, posted here. So, like, there aren't any epic or rare hybrids, which usually an update includes at least one of those, right? So there could still be more, and this could just not be it, and we'll have to see, right? So, anyways, let's just go over these. So the first one, I think there's no question that the first ingredient for the first legendary hybrid is the Smilodon, right? That seems quite obvious. If you see the fangs, it's really hard to be anything else, right? So now looking at the second ingredient in this one. Smilodon's an epic, so the second ingredient could, honestly be any rarity, right? That's not legendary or unique. But, and it does seem really hard to tell, because it just basically just looks like a regular Smilodon. But if you look closer, on top of its, nose area, it looks like it kind of has, this, because Smilodon, if you look at Smilodon, it's the head is kind of smooth, and this one, the top of its head does kind of look like it has a sort of dome-shaped head. So if we're going through the dome-shaped head dinos, we got, or a dome on its head thing, we got Stiggy Gen 2, Dracorex Gen 2, and Brachiosaurus. And all of those have hybrids. Stiggy, Paramaloc, Stiggy Gen 2, that's Stegodorex, Draco Gen 2, Dracoceratops, and then Draco Gen 1, Utarenix. The only one that doesn't have a hybrid is Brachiosaurus. So, and that shape does look more like Packy than anyone else's, right? So, very likely it could be Packy. Looking at it, honestly, could potentially be a Smilodon Packy hybrid. That's going to be 2 epics, and 2 epic hybrids usually are decently strong, and are decently expensive to make. But moving on. So moving on to the next one. A lot of people who saw this immediately just said, "Oh, aquatics confirmed." It's 100% an aquatic dino. But no, it is not. It doesn't confirm aquatics at all, because if you look closer, the people say, "Oh, it has 2 fins." At the top of its head or whatever. But if you look closer, you could see all 4 legs. The front ones are a bit harder to see, but the hind legs are a bit easier to observe. If you could see, I think they did this on purpose to make people think there's going to be a aquatics coming up. That's why they kind of obscured the legs. If you can see, the legs are obscured with this white misty thing. They probably did on purpose. So this is not an aquatic, but that aside, what could this be? It's a Diplo Gen 2 hybrid. It really, the things on its head those are Diplo Gen 2 things, right? And the shape of its body, if you look closer at its tail at the end, it very much seems like a Diplo Gen 2 hybrid. I'm almost certain this one is a Diplo Gen 2 hybrid, plus something, and that's something we don't really know, right? But looking through, because Diplo Gen 2s are rare, right? So we need an epic, usually an epic. It could be one of those weird step-skipping hybrids, but usually if we're going to guess, it's easier to guess if it's, made with an epic. And looking through all the epics, none of them really have similar characteristic traits to this that doesn't already have a hybrid, and the only one I could really think of is a Concavinator. If you look at the spikes on its back and then look at the spikes on Conk's back, they look very similar, although Conk has them a bit more, they're not that spread out in comparison to this hybrid. So we could be a Conk hybrid. The Conk part is kind of iffy. It could totally be something else. But I'm pretty sure the other part is Diplogen too. So moving on to the third one. This one looks like the first impression it gave me is it's some kind of hadrosaur, and looking through all the hadrosaurs, the only one that doesn't really have a hybrid, you got Tenontosaurus, Edmontosaurus, Iguanodon, Parasaur, Edmontoguanodon, Maiasaura, Rano. Most of those have hybrids except for two, which is Maiasaura and Monoguanodon. And it really doesn't look like the Monoguanodon, especially if you look at its head and stuff. Not that its head really has much to do with the hadrosaur part. Honestly, it looks like the other part. But you know, it's really hard to see them giving Monoguanodon a hybrid, although it's totally possible. But like, dude, if that thing gets a hybrid, it's gonna be absolutely broken. But from my observation, it looks way more like a Maiasaura part. If you check its the mouth, it's a duck build. It's duck build. Like it looks like a duck build. And then if you look closer at the very, very, very top, it has this one little spike thing. And if you look at dinos with spikes, it's stuff like Kentrosaurus, right? It's one of those stegosaurs, and the only ones that really have like spikes on them are really just Kentrosaurus and Miragaia. And if you look closer, the head shape looks really much like Miragaia. And that's, that thorn thing or that spike thing on its back looks very much like a Miragaia spike as well. So if you had to ask me, which one are you going to head to bet on to predict hybrid maker, I bet on this one, and it's going to be a Maiasaur plus Miragaia. If I just had to bet on one, I'd bet on Maiasaur plus Miragaia for the third one. So yeah, that really does seem like what it is, to me. So moving on, the fourth one, this one's a bit tricky. Honestly, it really looks like a Elasmotherium hybrid. So it could be like Elasmotherium plus, and if you look at the back of its, well, not back of its body, the back, it looks like an Anki kind of dome like thing. So it could be one of the Ankylosaurs. It also could be Worosaurus if you look at the bumps. It could be those as well. One of those as well. If you look at I guess Anki hybrids, the only epic one is the epic Anki, right? And that already has what? That already has two hybrids. So it's a bit more unlikely, I guess. So it might be one of those that skips steps if it's really going with Elasmotherium. I guess so. I don't know. This one's really tough. And if you look at the feet or the claws, it really looks like one of those crocodilian feet, like with the webbing and stuff, kinda, how it's spread out. I really don't know much about this, and for some reason it looks like the horn, I guess, makes me think of a Elasmotherium hybrid, Elasmotherium plus some kind of Anki, I guess. But in all honesty, I don't know. It could be Ankylodon, honestly, with the shell thing, and then the feet, which are Ophiuchodons, kind of, which is kind of webbed, I guess, sorta. So moving on to the next one, a lot of people knee-jerk reaction is, it's a Pteranodon hybrid. Although that's very possible, but people are also forgetting about the other flyer that still doesn't have a hybrid yet. Well, there's a few, but the other one that has a beak this shape, which is Quetzal, right? And Quetzal, in comparison to Pteranodon doesn't have that bump this silhouette has at the top of its beak, or the bottom. I don't know, wherever you want to start looking at it. And then it also has that crest near its head, which is also something that the Quetzal has as well. So it very likely could be a Quetzal hybrid. Plus, what? I don't really know. It kind of looks like it has some kind of fur thing going on with it. No clue. It's really hard to tell, honestly, here. So it could be Quetzal or Pteranodon plus something. So there's that. Moving on. Next, a hybrid. It's a Brachy hybrid. It's Brachy plus something. Plus what? We don't know. It really doesn't tell much of this one silhouette. So I guess just looking at the legendary hybrids that can still have hybrids and don't already have a hybrid. If we're going by those, the only ones that fit the criteria are Alankylosaurus, Dracoceratops, Skulosaurus, Ardont, I think. Are there any more? I'm not really sure. I think those are it. Let me check the field guide here real fast. Okay, let's see. Alankylosaurus, Ardontosaurus, Dracoceratops. Oh yeah, Monolometrodon, that's another one. Monolometrodon, Skulosaurus, and that's all. That's all the hybrids, the legendary hybrids that don't have a unique hybrid yet and aren't already super hybrids. So, I guess those are your possibilities. You could, could be either one of them, or it could be one of these new hybrids, right? One of these new legendary hybrids, totally possible. Or it could like skip steps, I guess. I don't know. And moving on, last one, that's a Tanny hybrid. Come on. A lot of people say, oh, it could be a Lythro hybrid, but no, one, Lythro already has a hybrid, and two, Lythro is not that. That's not how it's shaped. Like, you look at it, especially its neck and stuff. It's very likely a Tanny hybrid. Tiny plus what? I don't know. It kind of looks like Monolometrodon, I guess. And, that's going off of those, 4 or 5 legendary hybrids that don't have a hybrid yet and are also not a super hybrid. So I guess it's Tanny plus one of those, possibly, or one of these new hybrids. Who knows? So, yeah, that's all we got for today. These new, 7 new 1.8 hybrid silhouettes. And those are my guesses. If you guys have any other better guesses, any other clues about what you think these could be, tell me in the comments below. That would be really nice. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. It seems like 1.8 is coming. It doesn't have to be soon, but it's on its way. So that should be exciting. So anyways, that's all for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.